Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share my luxury shopping tips and recommendations for Hawaii. I took the bag out today and it looks really cute, so I wanted it to be a little prop in the background, sort of. Also, this is mostly going to be a talking video, so I thought that would be more interesting to have than just me. Since I've kind of come back to YouTube, if you will, I have been uploading a lot of content related to Hawaii. I'd also been getting some questions about recommendations or how to plan and things like that. So I thought that would be helpful to all kind of combine together in this video. So I will start off by sharing some places that I recommend for shopping, that are not just like a brand, you know, like Hermes or Rolex or things like that. And then I'll go into some tips and tricks for planning your trip, especially if kind of shopping is your primary objective, where you might want to stay, how long you might want to stay, things like that. I will leave chapters at the bottom like I typically do, so you can fast forward to a section if that's what you're most interested in. By no means are these like the only places to go shopping, but these are some places that we have picked up either good souvenirs or, you know, things that we remember from our trips. So if you're looking for a like consignment store, I've mentioned EcoTown already in my haul video as well, so I'll continue to mention them here. I think they're a great place to check out. If you are into more hype brands like sneakers and Supreme and that kind of stuff, there's a Harbors Vintage, which has two locations. There's one in the Royal Hawaiian Center, which is on like the main strip in Waikiki. They also have a standalone store that's a little further away. The standalone store is much larger. They carry more inventory, and they also, Harbors Vintage also makes their own like designed shirts as well. If you are in Chinatown or you're headed to Chinatown because you're going to some food spots or bars or things like that, there are a few stores in Chinatown that we really enjoyed. One of them was called Open Sea. It's a leatherworks store. I think they also do classes where you can make your own little card holder and things like that. We didn't have a chance to check that out, but that definitely seemed really interesting. There's also another store called Roberta Oaks. They also make their own clothing. They also stock pieces from local artisans from the different Hawaii islands. So that store was also really fun and really nice. They had really unique pieces in there. Chinatown also has a few other secondhand or thrift stores as well. They're kind of sprinkled throughout with a little bit of like art galleries. So I think just kind of walking through and perusing Chinatown is fun, so I highly recommend that. It's called Mahina. They have multiple locations across Oahu, and I think they also have locations on other islands. There's one by the edge of the Royal Hawaiian Center on the main strip in Waikiki. They also have one in Kailua. They also have one up by Paradise Cove. So North Shore-ish area, Turtle Bay kind of area. So they have a few of those stores. When I am in need of like beach wear or something kind of simple and easy to wear while I'm on the beach or at the beach, I like to go there. And the last recommendations are actually large brands, known brands that sell Hawaii-specific merchandise. So a couple of years ago when we went to Hawaii, we found out that Lululemon has Hawaii merchandise. They're the Lululemon, some of their like classic pieces that have decals on them that are specific for Hawaii. So at the time that we went, it was like this like rainbow motif and it said H&L underneath. Also, they had a geographic print of the 5 Hawaii islands on some of their pieces as well. This time around, we didn't go into a Lululemon, so I'm not sure if they still do them, but I think it's worth checking out if you're interested. The other brand that we found out about that has Hawaii-specific merch is Patagonia. And so at Patagonia, they have Honolulu kind of specific merchandise at like they're mostly t-shirts that had very specific screen prints on them. So if that's something you're interested in or something you want to check out, that's just good to know. And Starbucks, of course, also has their Honolulu and Hawaii specific prints on some of their cups and glasses. When it comes to luxury shopping in Hawaii, there are a few different, I guess, like approaches or strategies you can have around it. There are some brands that offer what's called Hawaii price, and there are some brands that might have like specific or exclusive merchandise. And then there are some brands that don't have Hawaii price, but depending on where you're coming from, you may benefit from the lower tax rate, the sales tax rate. In my mind, those are all the different levers that you can pull while you're shopping in Hawaii to see if something is, really worth getting while you're on the island. But really at the end of the day, for me, and what primarily drives my shopping decisions is more around the inventory that's available and whether I actually like that piece or not. These are some of the brands that I know that offer Hawaii price. Gucci on their handbags and shoes ready to wear. I believe the percentage is a little different. It's a little lower for handbags and a little higher for shoes and ready to wear. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Prada also has Hawaii price. Fendi has Hawaii price. I believe Miu Miu also has Hawaii price. Loewe has Hawaii price, and Marni has Hawaii price. From what I remember, Ferragamo didn't officially have Hawaii price, but they had a special promo, they were calling it, and it was 10% off. This was many years ago, so I'm not sure that they still do it. They may have adjusted, but that was something else that I had experienced while shopping in Hawaii. And then brands like Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Rolex, Chanel do not offer Hawaii price. Cartier also doesn't offer Hawaii price. So the retail price will be the same as mainland US. So this is where you may save from the sales tax can become more relevant. There's also, I guess, the possibility of savings from a tax return if you do duty-free shopping. I am not 100% sure how duty-free shopping works from the United States, when you're leaving the United States, because I have never been able to experience it. I do think process varies depending on state that you're visiting and whether or not that state offers duty-free. It's a possibility. I just don't know enough about it to be able to share. So if your goal when you're coming to Hawaii, of course, is to experience the beautiful island, but also is to shop and do some serious damage shopping. And especially if your target brands are Hermes and Rolex, then I would recommend that you stay for a period of time. All the brands in Hawaii are pretty accustomed to interacting with tourist clients. I consider them transient clients, right? You don't live there, you're not residents, you're not there for a long period of time. You're usually there for a few days and then you leave. They're kind of used to the shorter time frames that you might have, and they're all very willing to try and get merchandise shipped to the store so that you could try it while you're still visiting Hawaii. And so that's why the longer your stay is, the more easier for you to still be there when inventory arrives. Of course, the longer you can stay, the better, but at least a week, if not a minimum of 10 days, really, I think increases your chances of being on the island still when merchandise arrives, and you can go back for a second or third trip, and you might be able to score something that you've been wanting to get. In terms of where most of the luxury brands are, they are mostly along Kalakaua Ave, which is the main shopping strip on Waikiki. It's kind of I guess, Fifth Ave or Madison Ave, if you were to find an analogy in New York City. The other cluster of those brands are in the Ala Moana shopping center as well, the mall. So I typically like to stay within walking distance in Waikiki. It's by the main kind of shopping strip in Waikiki. And then there will be days during our trip where we have access to a car, and when we have a car is when we will kind of also go to Ala Moana. Of course, we'll go to other parts of the island when we have the car. It's not just to go to Ala Moana. So having a car can help with the shopping. If you're just trying to go to Ala Moana, the mall, there are buses that you can take easily from Waikiki to Ala Moana. So you don't have to have a car just to go to Ala Moana. But I do find, especially if you're shopping and you're going to have things to carry back, that it can be easier to have a car to just help ease in the transport of everything. But then dealing with parking with a car in Waikiki can be a hassle. That's also why, let's say like we're staying for like 10 days or 2 weeks, we'll have like a cluster of days where we rent a car so that we have the car, we do the things we want to do with the car, we have to deal with the hassle of parking the car, and then the other days of that trip we don't need the car anymore, so we will just be able to walk around. Oh, I was just looking at my bag and I realized I forgot to mention the ABC store because that's where I got this plushie. And that's what I recommend for souvenirs sometimes. The ABC store has like a lot of different plushies and I really like going there for those. Yeah, there's one here. I got this one too, so I put that one on this bag. I've also gotten like little musubi plushies for my baby nieces and things like that. So anyway, can you tell that I like plushies? So I think those are my like main shopping tips and recommendations for Hawaii. This is specifically for Oahu as well. I forgot to mention that part. But please let me know if you have any other questions or something else that you need like clarification on to figure out how to best plan your trip. There are a ton of things to do on the island that doesn't involve shopping as well. But I also know the nature of my channel, the nature of the things that we're interested in does revolve around a lot shopping. So I hope these tips are helpful in planning. If you want me to do a video on other Hawaii recommendations like beaches, restaurants, bars, things like that, let me know in the comments down below and I'd be happy to do that video as well. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, I read all the comments, so please let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next one. Bye!